Now we hug a little longer, yeah, we kiss a little stronger. Treat our neighbor and a stranger as our friend. Yeah, we're all a little kinder. Let the earth be a reminder. We're hoping baby growth has no end. For all we know, we didn't know. We learned it all the year we stayed home.
Oh, Skylar Faith. We're back. And what episode are we on?
Episode 75!
That's super exciting. Hello, welcome to Are you okay? Welcome to Randy's Live, episode 75. How did we get here? How did that happen? How did it happen? Well, let me tell you how it happened for those of you that might be tuning in for the first time. When the world sort of shut down, when we all went into chill out mode, our little family here in Nashville, Tennessee, we decided that we were going to do a show nightly. We thought maybe it would be fun to come to you live, to build community, to share stories of hope, share information, because so much information was being spread all over the country, and it was different on this coast and that coast, and so we thought, we're missing people, we're really missing people, and we don't know when we can be with our people, so we decided to come to you live. I told Andrew we would do it nightly, thinking it would be for a couple weeks, and here almost 12 plus weeks later, we went 70 nights consecutively from our house, even during a power outage, and now we just do it like about once a week. So here is our little party of three running this show. It is my cameraman, my graphics department, my husband, Andrew McGinnis, on camera. Bing. Over there, yep. And we also have my stage manager and my audience of one. Here is Skylar Faith McGinnis.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, so it's, are you okay? What's happening with the smoothie I made you? It was red. Can you check on her? Was it red? Was it red? Was it red? Yeah, red, white and blue, or just red? Yeah, no, okay. You're fine. Yeah, you're fine. So how are you guys doing? We're so happy to have you here today, and we're really happy that you guys are a part of this community. Look who's on! Oh, Ashley, it's so nice to see you. See, these are neighbors that we haven't seen, because we haven't seen people in a while. Hi, Sansan. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Bart. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Igor. Nice to see you. It's really great to see. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? That's the question, right? It's been a road. It's been a journey, right? This has been a journey, and we want to say that we appreciate the fact that we are safe here in our little home, in our four walls, and we know that that's possible because of all of you that are out there risking yourselves on the front lines and doing the hard work and going to work every day to make sure that we can be home and be safe. And to all of our loved ones who are sick and who are fighting this virus more and more, unfortunately, every day, especially for our little family, because I like to say I try out zip codes and area codes, because I do. So we've lived in a lot of places collectively, and so we know a lot of people that are having the sort of California experience, and we know a lot of people that are having the New York experience, and they're different, it's different for everyone. So we want to send our prayers out to the friends of mine, some of whom are watching right now, who have friends and family members that are very sick and who have just recently lost people. So big love to you, and every week we carry you in our prayers. And so as we settle in on this holiday weekend, right? What? Yes, no, I checked. It's July. It's July. As we sort of enter this, this weekend, I've been thinking a lot about my little girl and thinking about this country we live in, all of our freedoms, which we'll talk about towards the end, but just about how we come together as a human race and take care of one another, and how that's a really beautiful thing to do. So stay strong, and thank you for staying safe. It's really important. And I love seeing you guys here. It makes me really happy. I tell you guys all the time that no matter what kind of a day we're having, no matter how difficult it is, or how much maybe Skylar's missing her buddies, or we're just missing kind of getting out into the world, or we're worried about people, or worried about life and things. We come together in this moment for community, and it feels really good. And so thanks for sharing your hearts and your time with us. It's really important, and I appreciate all of your stories, and I appreciate you telling us what's going on in your world so that other people can know it. Right now we have people on from all over the country. We have Wisconsin represented, and California represented, and New York represented, and we have Maplewood in the house, and we have Colorado, and we have New Mexico, and we have Canada. So that's pretty good, huh? Okay, we have a great show planned for you. I'm super excited because the guest that we have on tonight is someone that I've been trying to get on since we started, and he's a very busy person with a lot going on, and I'm really happy that we we're able to do it tonight. But first, you know what we do? We tell you about our day. Woo! We had a day. We had a big day. Do you know why? You did not finish your smoothie. That was supposed to be for like the whole show. Oh my gosh, okay, that was for anyway. Hey, New York City, hey, David, hey, Zoe. Okay, so our day today was Skylar Faith has been taking an online virtual camp for the week. And it's with Miss Becky Turlin. Becky is a friend of mine from San Diego, California. And she's a wonderful, wonderful director and a mom and a friend, and she produces Kids on Stage productions. And Miss Becky said when this happened, you know, kids can't have the experience of musical theater camp. Last year we did an intensive musical theater program for a week in June out in California. We had tons of kids, and we did live music with a band, and Noah played, and oh, it was so much fun. Skylar was in it, and her kids were in it. It was amazing. And this year we had every intention of doing this live musical theater camp, but that did not happen. So she said, we have to do something, what can we do? And she said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do a virtual musical theater camp. And I promptly said, you were crazy. But I also know Miss Becky, and she's a bundle of energy, and she's smart, and she's funny, and she's wonderful. And you know what? They rehearsed for 3.5 days-ish, and today, for about like 100 participants and viewers, these amazing kiddos put on a production of The Wizard of Oz. We're going to show you a couple pictures. That's right, virtual Wizard of Oz. And Skylar Faith as our very sweet munchkin. There she is. Oh my gosh, Munchie. You're so cute.
Munchie.
I just gave you a name. That's right, she's Munchie.
Oh.
There it is. So that's part of the cast. There were a lot more kids, but we grabbed that. That's what a virtual musical theater camp looks like. Look at that. That's Zoom. Yeah, they did that today. It was amazing. How was it, Skylar? Tell us about was it fun? Tell me, was it a great experience? Was it different than being on like a real? What did you like about? I mean, I'll interview you for a second here. What was it like to do a Zoom musical theater camp? That's different, right?
Yes.
So tell me, what was different about it?
The thing that was different is that actually we were not performing on a stage.
You were not performing on a stage. You were performing in your living room, right?
Yeah.
In front of a green screen, right? But there were a lot of kids, right? And you kept saying how good everyone was and how talented everyone was, and it was so much fun. There was music, there was singing, there were dancing, there were costume changes, there were props. I mean, it was a big deal. Our living room is a mess. That's why we're not live from there tonight. You know, we sometimes not tonight. But it was great, and big shout out to Miss Becky and all of the kids who did a wonderful job. You know, we're in this whole new world of like glitches and when things freeze and audio and how to get the delays out of the way. And she did it all just beautifully, and Skylar had a great time. So it was really a happy day. Woo! In Wizard of Oz land this morning. Yay! All right, Chantel is on. So great. Petralia is on. I'm so happy to see you guys. Hi, Anna. Hey, hi Abby, hi Jennifer Turney, this is awesome. Hi Alyssa, well you guys are in for an amazing treat tonight, and I say we're just going to get right to it. Yeah, we are. We're going to get right to it because we have a big guest. It's not very often we have movie stars, and actually we've had a couple, but this is exciting because this is a movie star that I know that's from way back. I don't want to way back, but from like a little ways back. And so first I'm going to show you a trailer of what my friend is working on right now. It's really amazing, and you know, once every like maybe, I think it's like 3 weeks, we do a kids show. Because there are a lot of families right now that are struggling with their kiddos, that are not really kind of going, like, what am I going to do? I can't see my friends. I'm not on the playground with them. And so we like to have kid shows where we sort of highlight really neat things. Kids that are doing wonderful virtual things. Kids are doing stunts. They're doing magic tricks. They're doing riddles and stuff. And this is a show that the very talented Ahmed, who is he's a musician, and he's an actor, and he's a writer, and he's a producer, and he's a futurist. And he has a podcast. And he's done stage and film and screen. This is his latest project. It's super cool. It's on YouTube, and there's a trailer we're going to show you right now. So check this out. This is the Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge. Skylar just saw it, and she thought it was awesome.
For generations, the Jedi Orders have been the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy. Now, Padawan teams must endure 3 challenging rounds of Jedi trials to become Jedi Knights. From the strength trials on a distant world to the knowledge trials aboard a Jedi Star Cruiser.
Your answer is correct.
Only one team will have what it takes to enter the Jedi Temple.
Use the Force!
Face the mysteries inside and prove their bravery to become Jedi Knights. console. By the will of the Force, it's time to face your Jedi Temple Challenge.
I mean, honestly, do they do it for adults? Because we all want to do that. It's like Hunger Games meets Star Wars meets, I don't know, some kind of ninja challenge. I know, Skylar's like, yes. We'll talk. We'll see how they cast. That's one of the many projects that my friend is working on. I want to let him tell you a little bit about why he was chosen for the host, I guess, the lead Jedi for this television show, and tell you a little bit about his amazing story and share some of his journey with you. So you know what we always say, should we see if they're home? What do you think? Should we see if they're home? Let's knock on their doors, you know? Let's knock on their door, because you know what? A lot of people are home right now, right? Let's see. Let's see how we do. Maybe? Wouldn't that be so funny?
It would be great if you.
Well, and I could just play.
Here, let's just call.
We're just gonna
just-
call back. We're just.
Uh,
Oh, did you? Hey! Well, hello.
Hey, Randy.
How are you, my friend? It's nice to see you.
Hey, for some reason I'm not connected to my computer. Can you call me right back?
Of course
Sure.
we can call you back. Yes. All right, we're gonna call our friend right back. Yes, and we're just gonna take her back. So that works out really, really well.
All
Okay,
right.
one more time. Let's try. You know what we need, people. Can we get a little bit of the force?
that
That's
was
right.
funny. All right, hold on.
We got hearts for that, yeah.
Let's try that again.
Here we go. One more time.
Oh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Here we are.
Hey, friend. How are you?
Good.
So
thank
this
you.
is my
Yeah.
friend Ahmed Best. I want to introduce you to the people in Facebook land, all of the viewers that are watching, many of whom you already know. But why don't you tell our friends where, first of all, you are calling in from? Where are we talking to you today?
I am in Los Angeles,
Woohoo!
California.
Woohoo! In your
Hooray.
home studio situation. You
Yeah,
got
I'm in
there.
my home studio office
Yeah.
deal, which I've been here since February,
Yeah.
since we started
Yeah.
this whole dystopian science fiction movie.
Right? So, isn't it so? Well, thanks for being really ready for us. I mean, he was completely prepared, It's great to see you. I'm so happy. I was saying before we called you that I have been wanting to have you on since I started doing whatever this is we're doing, this talk show, variety show, family thing. And you're super busy. It didn't work out, but I'm really glad that it worked out for tonight. I've been excited to talk to you just about life and your journey. I'm a fan, first of all. I've been following you for years. I love not only the art that you make and all that you do, but I love your heart, and I love how you sort of move through the human experience as an artist. So I'm excited to chat with you and to sort of ask you some questions I've always wanted to. But I usually start with my guests. I like them to tell our viewers what you were doing before. Like if we could go back in time before this all happened and the shutdown essentially happened, especially for artists, because a lot of artists are on watching right now, so it's interesting to share experiences. What was going on in your world before this happened?
Well, I just started teaching. I teach over at University of Southern California at the School of Dramatic Arts, and I had a film class that I was teaching. I teach third year MFA actors, and it was my first semester there, and I had amazingly talented students, and we were just getting in a groove and really going and doing some really good work, and they were excited to graduate the 3-year program. And then lockdown.
Yeah.
So we had to I had to take my class completely online. And then my son, who he's 11 years old, he goes to school not too far from me, and he goes to a French school, private French school. And they had to do everything online. And then my wife, who teaches fitness and dance at various studios around Los Angeles, her entire roster of classes had to go online. So it was the three of us battling for bandwidth. It was like
I believe that.
internet wars.
Yes.
So we were all trying to figure out like scheduling how each of us were going to get on the internet. It was pretty crazy.
Wow, yeah. I mean, we have a lot of educators on as well right now. I'm looking at the feed and teaching anything. I have to, at the beginning I was like, well, this is hard to teach. No, I've decided teaching anything virtually when you weren't set up to teach it virtually in the first place is like a whole new world. It's like, what's happening? Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then, my final for my students, they had to go shoot a movie. And then COVID happened and they were just like, well, how can we shoot a movie now?
Yeah.
So I figured out a way that we could still fulfill the movie requirement of the class. So we did an entire film on lockdown.
Amazing.
In various locations in Los Angeles. And it actually turned out pretty cool. It was interesting. I would have definitely preferred to be there and do a movie with everybody in the room, but it actually turned out pretty good. So a lot of times, restrictions create innovation and challenges create new ideas and new modes of doing things. So I tend to lean into challenges more so than anything.
Awesome. So we were speaking a little bit the other night. I was catching up with you. You were also telling me about the fact that you were going to be doing some touring, right? You were going to be traveling with a really amazing project that I know just from social media that you've been working on for, it seems like a pretty good amount of time. You've been developing this, pulling the pieces together, working on it. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I know, especially the people who have that are on right now watching that have followed your career for so many years, I think it'll be really beautiful to hear from you a little bit about that project that you were doing. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I was supposed to be in Edinburgh, Scotland during the Edinburgh Festival with my one-man show.
Yes.
And Edinburgh usually happens in August. And now it's not happening at all. So I was in this incredible prep period for my one-man show and trying to get all the stuff together to go. And I had been working on the show for about a year. And roughly, the show was about the time between 1997 and 1999 where I got, when I got the role of Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars. Actually, it's a little bit before that as well. It goes from like the Stomp days to the Star Wars days to post Star Wars and the backlash that happened post Star Wars with me and my journey mentally and emotionally through that. And I really hadn't shared that story ever. And then a couple years ago, I tweeted one of my lowest moments during that time. And it was on the Brooklyn Bridge, and I was with my son on the Brooklyn Bridge, and I tweeted about how, I almost didn't have him because I was going to jump off the bridge. And it was really emotional that day. And it was one of those things that I was just like, I don't know if I actually want to share this, right? But I decided to do it because survival and perseverance and moving through something that so traumatic needs to be talked about and needs to be celebrated. And, especially as a Black man in this country, there's a stigma about Black men and mental health. Like we don't seek mental health. We have an idea of ourselves as being these like strong individuals who can take anything that's thrown at us, and that is not true at all. And so I just felt like it was time to just start saying something, start talking about it. And when I hit that tweet, all of a sudden I got all of this response, and I was just kind of shocked with the response. And then I was just like, okay, so I just have to write this show. So I wrote the show.
Yes to all of that. So many things I want to say, but this is your interview, so I'm going to keep it super short. But as an artist, being on the other side of that screen and reading that tweet, which I remember seeing, I thought exactly the same as so many other people that responded to it. It was so brave and so honest, and I had kept in touch with you over the years, and we have mutual friends, so I had known and seen a little of what you've gone through, and because I know you as really joyful and, my experience with you musical, I just assume that, like with most artists, you sort of handled it and found a way, but your honesty about your art and your honesty about that experience and how it affected you and the way that you sort of envisioned the rest of your years in Hollywood, the entertainment business, was so honest. When I read that, first of all, as an artist, it touched me and it really spoke to me. And second of all, when I heard that you were thinking about developing that into some sort of a performance piece to really revisit that, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was really brilliant. Not only as just a tool to help others, but a journey that I think a lot of people are very interested in, I mean, Star Wars being, I don't know, the biggest franchise ever, you being such a key part of it, and your story being so multi-layered and interesting, so that now you'll be able to speak to the fans, but also to the artists out there that really want to hear about that. I can't wait, and I'm so sorry that the project was put on hold, but like we keep telling every artist that comes on here, we're just on hold, right? We're just on some sort of
absolutely.
Epic pause. I don't know. So then do you have plans? I mean, I don't even know. Do you know when theaters open back up, will then you come back to the States with it? Or like, what's your dream, or what do you think is gonna, I don't know. Look into the future. You just tell me what you think.
Well, hopefully, everybody's saying 2021 is still a go. Obviously, we have no idea. We get new information about this virus. Europe has handled it pretty well.
Yes.
Now, the United States, the biggest barrier to going anywhere is nobody wants us.
Right.
Because we haven't really
our numbers are
high. Our numbers are really high. We haven't taken control of the methods in which we can bring those numbers down and be safe in the rest of the world.
Right.
So hopefully we can get that together, and I'll be in Edinburgh 2021, and then
I love that.
The dream is to bring it to New York.
Yes.
To be back on the New York Broadway stage, which I haven't been in such a long time. It's been a while.
I have to tell you too, we were doing a little bit of, because believe it or not, now that I'm a talk show host, I do a little research, and we saw some great clips of some things that you've done, and they were showing a little bit of your stuff from Stomp, and it was so fun to watch you in a live theater. Because for so many years now we've seen you on a screen, this dimension, but it's so neat to see you in that live element, and you really do just have a great energy. So it was super fun to watch that. So I can't wait till you're able to bring your story. It's really, it's really moving and needed to be told. So.
And that's where we started. You and I both started on that Maplewood Middle School stage.
Well, wait a minute. That was a good segue, because, so we're going to hold the new project for a second, and we're going to take a trip down memory lane. We actually, so this is so funny. I wanted to have Ahmed on for a while, like I said, and the dates just didn't work out. We did a Star Wars episode. He was super busy. Then we took a hiatus for a while. And so I was like, all right, we put this Friday on the calendar, not knowing that today, actually, Ahmed, was Skylar Faith's virtual camp performance of The Wizard of Oz, where she was shining bright as a very happy Skippy Munchkin. But I have to say that it was so funny, because that's where Ahmed and I met. We were doing The Wizard of Oz in Maplewood Middle School, and hold on a second, because my graphics department is going to pull a little something up.
No!
Oh,
don't
yeah.
do it.
Oh, no, we're doing it. We have to do it. I mean, come on. This is, The problem is I couldn't find many. I only found a couple, but oh my gosh.
This is going to be fun. Hold on.
I only found, and you know what? I wouldn't have even had it had we not just cleaned out the house that I grew up in. I just grew up in, cleaned out the home that my parents lived in Maplewood, and so I found a box. There are more. There's a whole photo album somewhere, but yeah, there we go. I don't know if wait,
hold on.
That's your graphic. Take that down. Go back to the
I got so much stuff going on
I know,
here.
you're so busy. If only we had an assistant. Where's Skylar?
Hold on. There we go.
Okay.
All right.
So what we have there is, that's The Wizard of Oz. That's cardboard. I mean, that's clearly a rainbow. And there you are. Yeah. Look at you. By the way, Skylar saw that and was like, that's a great costume. I mean, like,
it was. It was a really great, remember, it was, remember Debbie Shaft?
Yes.
It was
her mom.
Her
father? One of them. Oh, you're right. And her mom did the open-toed ruby slippers that I'm wearing, where she actually glued on all of this sort of like stuff. And there again. And where's the other one? This one I'm bringing on because this one, I just happened to find this. I was just a few I could find, but it was very fancy, Ahmed, we had a moving set piece. That was
We
the
did.
bridge that like
Look at that.
moved around and we almost fell off every single night. So I don't
Yeah.
think it was really safety proof. But yeah. So
that was definitely not built to code.
no, it was not. So Zoe Becker was on, John LaPat is on, Jennifer Petralia. We got Maplewood representing right now. Yeah. So and of
Maplewood
course
in the house.
those actually were really great memories because I think maybe for you I'm not sure, but for me it was certainly those roles back then was where I was sort of like, oh I like this. I like the live energy. And I like the challenge of trying to figure out what we're doing, you know, on a stage with 75 kids, you know, and a piece of set moving, and you're just figure it out, make it work, you know.
Yeah.
But I feel like live theater, there's really nothing like it. And so, what a funny coincidence. This is Wizard of Oz Day up in this, Okay, so now back to what you're doing now. So this show is amazing. First of all, it's amazing, and it looks like I was saying it's like Hunger Games meets like Ninja Challenge meets for kids.
Yeah.
Like it has to be fun, not only to film. I was asking you when we connected a little bit, how much of this did you have done before the pandemic happened, and what season and what are we doing looking ahead? Tell us about that. Tell us about the new show.
Yeah. So this is the first season of Jedi Temple Challenge, and we did 10 episodes, and we shot in November before everything got kind of crazy. So we knocked it out with hopes of it being released on Disney Plus.
Okay.
And then everything went down.
Yeah.
And there was a whole reshuffling. So we decided, I'm also a producer on the show.
Oh,
so
okay.
we decided that it would be a lot better on Star Wars Kids website and YouTube.
Yeah.
Because no paywall.
Right.
And
right.
we wanted it to be
that's great.
global. We
That's
wanted
great.
everybody to watch it.
That's really great, and it looks like it's getting a mazillion views. Like I don't know how to judge that whole thing, but it looks like it's doing really great. Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing pretty good, you know. And for me, I never thought I was going to be back in the whole Star Wars thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
a lot of us, when we do it, it's just like, okay, that was fun, but then let's move on, because it takes up, like you said earlier, Star Wars is such a culturally ingrained thing.
Yes.
That it's very difficult to like be seen as something else once you do it. So I was really working on the one-man show, and you know, I was writing, producing a lot of other things, and I have a bunch of web shows that are out there, and you know, developing those. And I wasn't really looking to be back in Star Wars, and they called me about Jedi Temple Challenge, and the thing that made me say yes was the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the times where I felt the worst, children would always tell me about how much they loved Jar Jar Binks. And they would lift my spirits up. You know, every time I felt bad, there would be some young person coming up to me and telling me how much they loved the character and what I did.
Yes, I'm sure.
And I always wanted to give back to them in some kind of a way. I didn't know how to do it, but it always kind of stuck with me. Like, I got to do something for the kids, you know. And then this showed up, and I was like, this is just my perfect opportunity to give back to all of those kids who gave me so much love and support. And it really was fantastic, you know. If you watch the show, you kind of see me kind of on the edge of my seat. 'Cause you never know who's gonna do what. On the
Well,
show,
kids,
right? So I'm like supremely excited watching these kids kind of figure out all of these challenges.
It is.
So it's great.
And it is, and it's amazing that you've been introduced in a new way. Like you're a whole new character and everything introduced to the Star Wars franchise. So it's pretty epic for them, and also these kids are performing with you. They get to be with, you in that role as host, but also Jar Jar. So that's kind of a huge thing. So yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Your story's so interesting. Your whole journey as an entertainer is really so fascinating. I mean, you do music, and you have a podcast, and you do all of this stuff, and you stay really busy. So I just keep making art. We need it. We need all of the art you can make. I want you to stay busy. Don't rest. Just keep doing all that. So I
will
really need that. We usually wrap up with 3 questions. I try to do the same 3 questions for every artist that comes on, and it's to give like a little perspective, because I like to say we're all sort of sharing the same experience, but it's a very different experience for all of us, you know? And
Yeah.
also, when I started this, I thought maybe we'd be at it for like 2 weeks. And this is a lot longer than that. So I understand that the answers might be a little different. So have as much fun with them, take them as seriously or as lighthearted as you feel, okay? 3 questions. So the first question is simply, what has been the hardest part of this time for you? The hardest part of this time for you, meaning like the close down, the sort of like the lockdown, the staying at home. What do you think has been the hardest to navigate through?
Well, you know, since very young, I've always found a way to be on the stage somewhere. And it's really my favorite place to be. It really does feel like home every time I step on the stage. And the hardest part about this lockdown is not being able to be on a stage in front of people doing something, regardless of whether it's playing music or doing a play or even doing like a live event with the podcast or a hosting event. I've always found a way to be in front of people on a stage, and it's tough now. Tough. You know, stages, people in audiences in the dark together is a magical thing. It's a magical place. And it really keeps you on your game. You know what I'm saying? Like that instant gratification. So that's been tough.
I would have to agree with that. Yeah, it's a hard thing. Okay, so the flip side of that is, what would you say has been a silver lining, like something unexpected silver lining in this time that you're finding that you didn't think would sort of be there?
Well, we, I think, as a nation, got to reflect on who we are, and with what's happening now. Since the George Floyd murder, we are re-examining what our values as a country is and who we get to be, right? And as we're looking at ourselves, we are realizing that we don't like who we've become. And it took this pandemic to have us sit down and really, genuflect on who we want to be in this world. And that is something that probably would not have happened had we not had to go home and sit down and really deal with our health, right? Because emotionally and mentally, that's part of the health process as well. So as we're sitting in a room trying not to get sick, we realized as a country how much better we need to get.
Yeah, it's a great perspective. That's why I asked the question too. We were staying focused on not getting sick to find out that we were already in some ways very sick as a country.
Yeah.
And needed to truly get better. Yeah, and my husband and I talk about this a lot, wondering if this all would have happened, all of the change that we are hopefully on the precipice of seeing, like all of this, if it would have happened, had we not all been sort of like taking a moment. I guess we don't know, but I do believe it had something to do with it. I really believe that, like what did you say, that we all had to go home, like we were all sent to our rooms. Yes, you're right, we were.
That's right.
Right, and then we had to learn. So, okay, so that's a good silver lining, amen. And then the last one is, and this is the one that I know could change, because I think what my answer to this like 2 months ago is very different than now, and 3 months ago it will be different than 2, but what have you learned? What have you learned from this time of sort of being, in our own spaces and taking care of one another, I guess, in our own way?
I learned that in general, we all want to take care of one another. The massive changes that are going on right now, especially when we're talking about coronavirus, COVID-19, and we're talking about equity, equality, and inclusion. The majority of us are in agreement. The majority of us want to see this positive change. The majority of us want us to be healthy and be protected and take care of ourselves. And a lot of times when we're watching the news cycle, like, I'm a big news junkie, and there's a very strong impetus to focus on the things that divide us, right? And we don't focus as much on the things that unite us. But I think the thing that I always realize is there are more of us who want to be collectively together and share this experience of love and unity than there are of the people who don't want that. Like, we outnumber them. Those people are loud, like extremely, extremely loud, right?
Right.
And, you know, the parts of our brain that developed, you know, hundreds of thousands of years ago that say, herd together and survive, that just kicks in, right? That's part of who we are as human beings. But the number of people who really appreciate what we're all coming together and figuring out and what we all want to be as a collective human race on this planet, and realize that the message of unity, togetherness, care, kindness, and love are the way we continue becoming a strong human family. There are more of us than there are of the others. And I think we have to just keep that in perspective.
I think so too. Spoken with heart. I love it. My new saying is that we are building an army of love. That's my new because I believe that it's just part of how we keep powering through, and we're with you on that. We do believe that, and in this time we're really seeing it. And I'm so happy to reconnect with you this way. It is really odd that it's like this, but it's the first time we've probably actually seen one another in years. So this is actually one of my silver linings. I'm really happy about it. Thank you. It's amazing. I got a lot of people on right now that are so happy and thrilled to have a chance to chat with you and hear your story. When we're finished on this call, I'd love for you to go in and maybe put a link up to where people could find, the Jedi Challenge, and maybe where they could follow you. What's your website so people can get news about your one-man show or your podcast? Somebody already asked what your podcast is. Tell us where we can find that stuff.
Yeah. You can find my podcast is called The Afrofuturist Podcast, and you can find that on iTunes and Stitcher. Right now, I'm subscribed to it.
Yes.
I talk about all things future. I'm really into the future.
Awesome.
You can follow that on theafrofuturistpodcast.com as well. You can follow my YouTube page, which is where I'll be putting a lot of the stuff that I'm producing now.
Yeah.
It's called the Best Innovation Story Network, BISN, or Bison, on YouTube.
Yeah.
You can jump on Twitter. I'm there at Ahmed Best, or IG at Best Ahmed. Follow me there, and I always tweet out, jokes and appearances and the stuff that I do. I thought I'm actually pretty easy to find, which is a little bit scary. So I'm out there. I'm out there in a lot of different ways, and I'm on Facebook as well as Ahmed Best, and I follow you, Randi.
Okay.
So if anybody needs to find me, they can find me through you.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much for visiting with us today, for sharing your heart, for sharing your truth, your art, your story, the whole thing. It's wonderful to reconnect with you. Keep following all of it. You just made me really happy. I'm really happy to do this.
You made me really happy too. From the first day we met all those years ago, I always believed that you were something incredibly special. And I've been a fan of yours since those days.
That's sweet.
It's the truth. I remember that first time I heard you in choir, and your voice just cut through the entire choir, and it was just something incredibly magical about you. And you haven't lost that. You are still just such a wonderful gift as an artist, and you have this fantastically magical voice, and now this beautiful family. I couldn't be more proud to know you.
Thank you. Well, now I'm crying, so that was not on my list here. Thank you for those sweet words, and I feel the same way. It was funny, too, when I was thinking about introducing you and all the things that you do. One of the things that I immediately connected with you on was the fact that you are a father, too. And it is different. We always say, I love to always joke that, no, we're still these edgy artists, but when you are a parent, your art matters in a different way, and so it's been so interesting to watch you sort of share that experience through not just, you know, a friend's eye and a fellow artist, you know, the eyes of a fellow artist, but as a dad, you know. So thank you for those sweet words. I feel the same. I'm really glad we reconnected. We have to continue to stay in touch and do something when this is all over. I mean, I feel like we should do something together somewhere. So.
Let's figure it out.
Yes, we're definitely going to do it because you are joyful and you are so talented, and I am so honored to have you on. That is a genuine movie star right there and a really good human being. And if we could just get more of those, please, you know, the world would. That's part of our army of love. So I love you.
Absolutely.
Go in the comments and put some posts so that you can share what you're doing. And congratulations to all of your successes, and good luck in the fall with the teaching. And here's to hoping that your show is up and running in the theater with humans breathing on you, but from a distance, healthfully, right? Yeah, right. Yes.
In mass.
Yeah, in mass. Right. Yes, exactly, or whatever that's gonna look like. All right, big love, my friend, and I will see you very soon. Yeah. Mwah. Goodbye. That's Ahmed Best, who just made me cry.
Thank you.
See ya.
You just made me cry. I remember that too. Time too. I remember meeting him when we did the Wizard of Oz. Funny enough, and I mean, you just can't write those coincidences that he's on today. But such an amazing natural performer. And actually, I meant to do a shout out. His family. He's full of a family of beautiful performers and who are all in different ways involved in the arts. And, you know, he's also one of those artists that are supportive, you know, on stage in a theatrical environment, someone that wants you to do well, you know, and you can see his heart. His story is incredible. I mean, that's Jar Jar Binks. He's a big-time movie star, and his journey of how he sort of, what happened with that character, and you know the story. I mean, you know sort of him going from, like, you know, the stories in Rolling Stone, and then sort of what happened with his many years with that franchise. It's remarkable. And then what he's done with his life and what he's created and continues to create. You should follow him. You should listen to his podcast and just keep an eye on what he's doing. And we'll go back and input those comments, links in the comments for you too. So that's my friend Ahmed Best, and I'm so glad that he was here on Randy's Live, and I'm all choked up. So this would be a really good time for us to go to a segment that we like to call Mixin' with McGinnis. That's right, you know why? Because it's Friday, and that's what we do. Not Drinks with Daddy. No, Sky. Okay, all right.
It's
For those of you that just...
Hold on. What, Sky? What is it?
It's called Drinks with Daddy. They got it all wrong.
No, we did. Okay, I want to be clear about this. It is not called Drinks with Daddy because I decided that was not appropriate. We could not hashtag that. So this is called Mixin' with McGinnis, a segment we like to call. So here, for your viewing pleasure, is the one and only Andrew Perry McGinnis.
Woohoo! I'm gonna do it a little differently tonight.
Oh my goodness, what's happening? What's happening, Dad?
Mixin' with McGinnis. Yeah.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate the throw over to me. Our budget has increased, obviously, for Mixin' McGinnis. Now we have this fantastic lounge bar set. Or green screen, your choice, on Zoom. Thank you. All right, tonight we are making a themed cocktail for the holidays, the 4th of July weekend. I'm making the 1776 cocktail. What is that, you ask? I'll tell you. It is a layered frozen drink. Yes, I will say it again. A layered frozen drink. What you will need: blender, frozen strawberries, white wine, blue curacao, pina colada mix, and gin. I know. And we have all the ingredients at our house. Shockingly. I guess at this point, it's not shocking. So we're going to start with the red layer. Strawberries. Again, you know, I don't measure anything, so we just dump. Put some in there. Gonna just a little bit with the white wine. Again, I don't. Sure, that's good. I don't measure. And then we just turn this little sucker on for a little bit. All right, take that. I'm gonna pour this into a little bowl. Ooh, that looks good. And then you're gonna place this in the freezer just to hold it, because you've got a couple more steps to do. I'll be right back. And we're back. Look at that, a clean blender. How did I do it? Movie magic, I don't know. Next, we're gonna need some ice. So we're gonna fill up the glass, like a third of the way. And it's probably a third. We'll layer it with blue curacao. Man, tight. Blue carousel. Blue layer. Again, I don't measure. Then we're going to put some more ice on top. This is where we add our gin. Ooh, lovely. And a touch of pina colada. Why? Because it'll keep it white. You want the white layer on top, like so. Ooh, lovely. And then, give me 1 second. I have to go to the freezer. And here we are. We're topping it off. Yeah, fireworks. It is. Ooh, I don't want a spoon. All right. It could get messy. I don't know. We're just going to put this in. It is my drink, so. Ooh. And there we are, ladies and gentlemen, the 1776 cocktail. Happy 4th of July, everyone. And if you don't know, and you should know, I'm on the set of Hamilton. Because it's airing tonight, or last night. We're watching it tonight on Disney+. So, I'm not going to throw away my shot for a cocktail. Delicious. Back to you, Randy. I already said happy 4th of July. Did you hear that? Randy's in the background. Happy 4th of July. Back to you.
Mix it with McGinnis. Yeah.
Okay, I don't.
I told you it should be different.
Why we got a green screen? I don't know. I'm sorry. Do you now have? Is that your?
I'm sorry?
What is it? Is it like a song? Is
I
it like
just did a quick
just
little
a
VO.
mixing-
Mixing with McGinnis. Yeah.
Okay,
No, there's a
that
yeah
is-
in there.
I feel like maybe. Oh no, they're
People
loving
love it.
No, don't encourage him, people. No, please don't do that. Don't do it. So that's Daddy's drink. Of course, he did it in honor of, I guess, 4th of July weekend. There it is, red, white, and blue.
Oh.
This sounds odd. Should I try
And it's in
it?
a Randy Driscoll mason jar.
Randy Driscoll mason jar, available at
Yeah.
randydriscoll.com. Can you do it again one more time? Mix it with, what is it?
Mixing with McGinnis. Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have never thought pina colada mix,
Wine.
wine, gin.
That's right.
You can clean your floors. No, it's actually really good.
My hands were clean, so
Can
when I put.
smell it?
Okay.
You want?
You can smell it, sweetheart. That's why we made you a virgin smoothie. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I always do a song at the end of the night. So here's a pretty new one. I don't know that I've ever done this song on a live. We might have lost my mic.
No.
Can you pull it? Okay. I don't know that we've ever done this. I'm still laughing at you. Mixing with McGinnis. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. Do you want music to that?
I could have
don't know
gone.
that I've
I
ever
could
done
have
this
gone
song
to you.
live. I did it at the concert the other night. It's a brand new song. I'm going to do it for you right now. But the reason that I'm doing it tonight is because we had this little trip down memory lane today with my beautiful friend Ahmed, and we were talking about high school and we were talking about junior high, and I've been thinking a lot about just what I would tell my younger self if I could write a little letter to younger Randy. It would be a long, long letter because I'm a little long-winded. But this is a new song. I did it the other night on my concert, but I don't think I've done it on a live. So here it is. It's called If I Could. I'm going to do it for you right now.
If I could, then I would go back and tell you how beautiful you are, how perfect is made up of your scars. If I could, then I would go back, tell you how brave you've always been and how they were always noticing. If I could, then I would go back and tell you don't waste your time on tears. Everyone's fighting the same fears. If I could, then I would go back and tell you some people never change, but you're gonna love them anyway. If I could, then I would go back and tell you that every stone you stumbled on was making you strong. If you could see the future me talking to a younger you, to tell you everything would turn out fine. Have no regrets, all the best hasn't even happened yet. Life is short, so take your time. and tell you wherever you may roam, every road will lead you home. If I could, then I would go back and tell you to listen to their wisdom, 'cause when they're gone, you're gonna miss them. If I could, then I would go back and tell you that every stone you stumbled on was making you strong. If you could see the future me talking to a younger you, to tell you everything will turn out fine. Have no regrets, all the best. It hasn't even happened yet. Life is short, so take your time. Just when you thought it was over, you had barely begun. And just when you thought it was finished, no, you weren't done. If I could, then I would go back and tell you stop moving so fast. Make it last. If I could, then I would go back and whisper in your ear. If you could see the future you and all the things you're gonna do, how everything is gonna turn out fine. Have no regrets, 'cause all the best, well, it ain't even happened yet. Life is short, so take your. Life is short, don't waste your. Life is short, take your time. I've never been the type to try and grab the spotlight. We were at a revel with some rebels on a hot night, laughing at my sister as she's dancing in the room. Then you walked in and my heart went
Boom.
trying to catch your eye from the side of the ballroom. Everybody's dancing and the band's time to fall. You grind to the rhythm as we wind down. Grab my sister and whisper, yeah, this one's mine. Ooh, my sister made her way across the room to you. I got nervous thinking, what you gonna do? She grabs you by the arm, I'm thinking I'm through. Then you look back at me and suddenly I'm helpless. Look into your eyes and the sky's the limit. I'm helpless. Oh, helpless. Down for the count and I'm drowning in it. Come here, girl. Thanks so much for listening to Randy's Live. We've been waiting all day to turn on Disney Plus so that we could see this. Woo! Big holiday here. Not only July 3rd, but Hamilton Day, y'all. So, in the spirit of this beautiful country that we live in, and in the spirit of the right to gather, the right to fight for what we believe in, the right to love our fellow man and do the right thing, and all of those beautiful things that we talked about tonight, building an army of love. We're gonna go have a little takeout and watch Hamilton. Thanks for being here. I want to do a special shout out to my friend Ahmed for his beautiful words and sharing his heart. And how about all the people that tuned in tonight to be with us? Thank you. We will be back next week. We're coming at you once a week now, not every night. And what do we want to tell them, Skylar? Your vibe attracts your tribe. And we're so glad that you're our tribe. Without you, you know, we'd be helpless. Down for the count and I'm drowning in it. Helpless. Happy Hamilton Day. Thank
Thanks to Andrew McGinnis for mixing with McGinnis. Thanks to you guys for a great show. Thanks for Ahmed. I love you, girl. Congratulations on Wizard of Oz. You were beautiful today. Thank you, Miss Becky. Thanks to the entire cast. Woo! This was fun, and we will see you next week. Love you. Happy 4th of July. Please stay safe. Love one another. Be kind. Bye.
Bye.